it's hard to do with the stars. This week's ScubaTube is sponsored by the Best Underwater Hotels Part 1. Hi guys, and welcome to this week's ScubaTube. So let's dive straight into the news. A Russian submarine. In the last episode of ScubaTube, we spoke about UK's new sub. Well, it seems that Russia is going bigger and bolder as ever. A design of Russia's new submarine range has just appeared online. The sub in question has been designed to travel underneath ice floes and help map its underwater surroundings. The sub is said to weigh over 13 tons. It's 442 feet long and can travel up to 12.6 knots. But the oddest thing about this sub is that it actually has wings. Yeah.
I don't see the... Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. So these wings retract, because who needs wings on a submarine? They retract into the hull, a bit like a blade of a pocket knife. They kind of fold back. That was one thing I learnt. The term jackknife comes from a sailor's folding knife. I never knew that. I found that out last night.
Well,
so what are these wings for? Well, the experts aren't actually quite too sure. Hopefully that the manufacturers, the people designing the submarine, know what it is.
We just stick some wings in it and make it look a bit bigger.
It's like Hunt for Red October. They're kind of like looking at little images and they go, oh, what do you think these are for? I don't know. Turns out it's not actually a submarine, it's actually an aircraft. So once full in position, the wingspan of the submarine will be 330 feet, which would make navigating through ice very hard, because you don't want something very wide.
Yeah, considering it's meant for ice flow, they stuck... Yeah,
I don't know.
Wings on it.
But of course, don't start panicking. This sub is for research only, they claim, and is being used by Russia to secure mineral and energy mining rights. So just for sort of mapping areas, really.
Yep. Mapping areas, excavating, see where there's oil, where there's gas, if that can be used.
And flying.
And yeah, flying. The thing's massive though. It's bigger than a jumbo jet. Like, I think you can fit just about 2 of them in that space. It's absolutely massive.
Straight.
Yes, so Megamouth has been caught on camera. This is a cool story, but also a very sad story.
It was cool when we started writing it, but then the following day it went dark.
Yes, very dark. Anyway, a Megamouth shark has been filmed off the
Tateyama
Chiba Prefecture. What's that mean? I don't even know.
It's like an area.
An area, yeah. So the area. There you go. So now you're wondering, what's all the fuss? It's just a shark. Well, the Megamouth has been dubbed one of the ultra rare sharks. It's actually really, really rare, and it's not very, obviously it's not been seen that much, so it's not really been caught on camera that much. So the shark's a deep water shark that was found in a net offshore from the Tsunosaki Lighthouse. So the shark is female. It measures between 5 and 6 meters long. They managed to transfer it from the net into a cage and then bring it out into the ocean. So give it the best it can. This type of shark was found in Hawaii in 1976, and to this day, the detailed biology of the shark is still unknown. Well, I'll carry on with the story. Anyway, since 1976, only 110 sightings of the Megamouth shark have been noted. So to get one out on camera is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately though, the following day, the shark died. Suggesting the shark may have been on its last legs when it, obviously came out the depths of the water and then it started swimming to the coast of Japan. So
I mean, there's enough footage of it kind of cruising around, and there's other divers swimming next to him. But yeah, we figure it was on its last legs, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, just shallow death and died.
I was like, do you know what? Before I die, I want to see what's up there.
Yeah, it's nice and warm up here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so he's done that. But now, considering they're a rare species, we know it's died. We've got the body. It's a fresh. I guess it's quite fresh.
Yeah.
So they can preserve it and then they can analyse it. So it's tragic, but also at the same time
we can learn something.
Yeah. It's good. Well, it's good, but it's bad.
A new wreck has been submerged. A tank from the 1960s is to be submerged in 20 meters of water off the coast of the Mediterranean Sea in Turkey, Antalya province. province. The tank, yeah, wow. The tank has been provided by the Turkish military and already sits in 5 meters of water. So they're just below the surface, and they're waiting for better weather to submerge it in a further 15 meters. But what's the reason for the sinking? Well, it's tourism, of course. Yeah, diving around Turkey, you've got nice clear waters. I don't think there's too much in the Mediterranean Sea, so if they put sort of wrecks and stuff,
that's what the plan is.
Yeah. They want to make Turkey one of the biggest diving hubs in the world, so why not start by submerging this tank? Everyone's seen planes and ships, but tanks in near perfect condition are quite a rare sight to see underwater. That's quite true.
Because if there's tanks, they're normally a part of a cater ship or something, so they've normally got blast wounds and all that sort of thing. But this is nice and preserved. They've literally dropped it in slowly so it can...
There's a place in the Red Sea where basically after the Second World War they just got all the tanks and just like pushed them off a cliff. So there's just a whole bunch just laid over, but this is a bit more
this is
intentional.
Yeah, it'd be cool because you can dive around it. Hopefully you can get into it, sit in it, go... Oh, that's what I'm trying to do anyway. Yeah.
They plan to make this a dive site all year round, which fits in perfectly with their tourism plan. It's just a bit different. You see plenty of planes. I've seen a double-decker bus underwater. That's cool. Put there intentionally.
Yeah. Just got a bit lost. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, they knocked all the windows out. They took all the seats and all the electronics and stuff out and just sort of pushed it into the lake.
They should have left the horn in there.
Okay, so now it's time to hear from this week's sponsor, which, funnily enough, is Simply Scuba.
Again.
The Simply Scuba wetsuit bag is a protective bag to keep your wetsuit in. You can also put your dry suit in. It has a full-length zip for easy access, a top and bottom handle for easy carrying, and an ID window. And of course, it's UV resistant. So this is really to just protect your exposure protection, either whether you're traveling or whether it's during storage. It just protects it from nasty chemicals or the UV light, so it keeps it fresh.
Yeah, keeps all your gear together as well, so you can have all your like your wetsuit and say your dry suit. But then if you have a rash vest, you can have that in there as well. Just for between dives or out of season dives, whatever you want to do, just keeps it all together, and you know where it is in one place, all protected.
To find out more about this product, click on the link below us in the description, or there's one just above us that will pop up. Okay, so shark lives matter. Surfer Mike Coote lost his leg to a tiger shark back in 1997, but he holds no bad feelings and instead created an awareness campaign and a new one called Fin for a Fin, which is a unique scheme similar to an organ donor card where you can buy a specific fin for your surfboard, and you're also added onto a registry that in the unlikely event that you're hurt and killed by a shark, you specifically don't want any sharks to be hunted or killed because of it.
That's really cool.
This is quite nice, and it's got a funky design on it, so you can advertise to all your surfer mates that you're in for sharks and whatnot, and you don't want any harms if you are harmed. It's still in the startup phase, but it's a great concept that will show how many surfers actually support protecting sharks instead of just, oh, he was killed by a shark, now we have to hunt it down and kill it.
Yeah, because you get that look with sharks, like with surfers, they either love it, they love sharks, but then they don't hit the news. It's always the guys that want to cull the sharks, like obviously Kelly Slater and stuff like that. They want to destroy the marine life that's in their surfing spot, even though
I just want to surf here.
Yeah, it's just like, well, actually, to be fair, they have more right to be there than you. But yeah, no, I think it's really good. It's really, hopefully it catches on. Hopefully there'll be like you'll get brands like Reef and stuff like that, Quicksilver, that will actually have that attached to their boards as well. That'd be quite cool.
It. Yeah.
And then when you buy a new board, all you got to do is fill in your details if you want to register. Yeah. And then boom. And then with that in sense, what they could do as well, completely going off topic, but they could also, like, to say if you don't register but you buy the board or Quicksilver, they can put a donation towards like conservation or something.
Yeah.
So
that'd be cool.
It could lead to something really good, really big. So Mark, fishy drones. So you see plenty of quadcopters around today, but there are very few underwater drones. Unless you want to kind of get your drone, flip over the things and make it sink.
You see plenty that run out of battery and then become underwater.
Yeah, that's true. That happens quite a lot as well. Anyway, obviously there's tons of those drones recreationally available for underwater filming. So enter the Biki drone, which has a 4K, that's right, 4K camera and it's at a sensible price tag. That's awesome, 4K.
Yeah.
So underwater, the crisper the image, the high quality of the image, the much better it's going to be. So, yeah. Shaped like a fish, the Biki is sleek and round. Let me start that again. So shaped like a fish, the Biki is sleek and round with a big flappy tail and fins to help it move around, with the ability to adjust its depth and position in the water. So it can hang motionless in the water to film you or film anything that you want to, swimming past. So it literally kind of like stabilizes itself.
Yeah, because all my footage even just seems to be whatever I'm aiming at.
Yeah.
Whereas if Biki can kind of sit off and you can swim past, you can really sort of film yourself and others swimming around.
Do you know what would be really cool? Is if they did it like a GPS or it tracks you. So you've got the DJI, the Spark, where it can follow you and all that sort of thing. You actually have that, so it can swim alongside you as well. That would be quite cool. Anyway, the fin replace any propellers, and obviously this is going to help. So no obstacles. It's not going to get too close to any coral and cut that all up. So it literally is just a little robot fish, which is really cool. Which means obviously damage is very, very limited, unless it's one of those like wind-up fish that hit the side of the tank and just does that. There's like some sort of error.
In the bathtub.
Yeah. Anyway, the 4K camera has stabilisation, so it's on like a gimbal inside there. So even if you see the motion of the thing going through the water, it stabilises it also. And it's probably a 4 to a 3-point axis, which is good. So yeah, the swimming motion, you don't have to worry about that. Obviously, it's still in the Kickstarter phase, so it's not quite ready yet. But it's set to sell around about retail of around about $1,000 dollars. So, considering I mean, you're looking at drones. If you want to get at least a semi-decent drone, you're looking at around about 2, 3, 4,000.
Yeah.
Unless you go down like the Spark, the DJI Spark, which is about 500, but then that's a selfie drone.
Yeah.
So. Again, for it to deal with all the pressure underwater and stuff. Yeah.
Underwater, move around by itself. I don't know how you control it, whether you just put it in and it just swims in a straight line, or whether I don't know. But hey. So a new tourism hotspot has occurred. The Canadian Wharf, where the little girl was dragged into the water, has become a new hotspot for tourists wanting to see where the sea lion, or wanting to see the sea lion, and where the little girl was pulled in.
So we covered this on last week's Weird Wednesday, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the video that went viral of the poor little girl that got dragged into the water by a sea lion. She got out. But now it's this real sort of key hotspot in Vancouver, I believe.
Yeah.
So despite the obvious dangers of getting too close to wild sea lions, hundreds of people have actually been flocking to the area and even holding their kids over the water to get a closer look.
Oh, really? Really? It's like a Michael Jackson thing, hanging up in the balcony.
Also, despite a $100,000 fine for disturbing marine mammals, people are still feeding them to get them to come closer, to the point where like the local, I think it's the wharf owners are putting up more and more signs. Come on guys, be sensible. They're dangerous animals. Don't get too close. Don't feed them.
What's going on?
Hey. The father of the little girl that went viral is defending claims that he was incredibly stupid from the public for feeding the animal and letting his daughter get too close. So Mr. Lau, that's all we really know. That's all we know is that they're just called the Laos.
The Laos.
We don't have any other names. Denies that they were the ones feeding the sea lion. He says that there was someone next to them, but he does admit to letting his daughter get a little bit too close. The 6-year-old had minor injuries that required medical treatment to prevent any infections. They were saying that actually their mouths. Yeah, she's got like a 2x4 inch
block of wood,
just wound somewhere on her, and because they're sea lion mouths, they do have bacteria, so it was more antibiotics.
Yeah. Put a Dettol wipe on it. You'll be all right.
Styptic. Oh,
Styptic.
Bit of iodine, just watch. So that's it for this week. Be sure to check out last week's Weird Wednesday and tune in next week on Wednesday for another show. Thanks for watching, guys, and safe diving.
Bye.
Bye-bye.